here we are. Me and Dallas, back for another mock draft. Let's get into the video. In the first 5 rounds of this year's draft, the Dallas Cowboys have 4 total picks. Number 24 overall, number 56, number 87, and number 173 overall. So in this mock draft, let's get to our first pick at number 24. When that rolled around, these guys were still on the board. A.D. Mitchell, wide receiver from Texas, Xavier Worthy, another wide receiver from Texas, Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle from Oklahoma, Graham Barton, interior offensive lineman from Duke, and Jordan Morgan, an offensive tackle from Arizona. Quite a few guys on this list that I really like. But in this simulator, we received a very good trade offer from the Detroit Lions in order to move back to the 29th pick in the draft. The trade looked like this. The Lions get your pick at 24 and your 3rd round pick at 87. In return, the Cowboys are going to move back 5 spots to 29. The Lions give us pick 73 and 92 in the 3rd round. So in a trade back in the 1st round, we pick up a late 3rd rounder while moving up 14 spots from 87 to 73. Now we hold 2 3rd round picks, and it might be a bit rich for the Lions. But in this case, they really wanted Cooper DeJean from Iowa in this sim. In reality, this draft might fall perfectly for the Cowboys to have a trade back situation. And it would be a good opportunity to recoup some of that draft capital that you lost with the Cooks and Gilmore trades last season. So we went ahead and got to pick 29. Of the guys that I liked, Tyler Guyton and A.D. Mitchell were off the board. Xavier Worthy was still there, along with Graham Barton and Jordan Morgan being there as well. So with the 29th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, give me Graham Barton, the tackle from Duke that'll likely be your starting center or left guard in 2024. An athletic big man that moves very well in space. He's strong at the point of attack, he has powerful leg drive, and he likes to be physical in the run game. His arm length is really what's going to hold him back from being a tackle at the next level. But when he slides inside to be your guard or center, he has all the tools of a 1st round lineman. And I know a lot of people really like Graham Barton. Some think he won't be there at pick 24, much less 29. But I think there's a good chance that he's still hanging around towards the back end of the 1st round because of so many tackles, wide receivers, quarterbacks, corners that need to go in the 1st round. So give me Graham Barton at pick 29 while picking up an extra 3rd round pick. And off we go to round 2. At pick 56, some guys still on the board include Braden Fisk, the athletic defensive tackle out of Florida State that probably rose his draft stock at the NFL Combine. Payton Wilson, the NC State linebacker that has picked up some steam, someone that's faced a few injuries throughout his college career. Devontae Walker, the speedster wide receiver out of UNC Chapel Hill that would be an interesting addition to this Cowboys team. T'Vondre Sweat, a fan favorite and big defensive tackle out of Texas. And with the 56th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, let's get us a guy that can fly all over the defense, has really good instincts for the position, and would immediately help our linebacker room in Payton Wilson. A lot of people also think that Wilson won't be there to see the Cowboys selection in the 2nd round. I know some media scouts have him graded as a potential 1st round guy. And I'm here to tell you that could be true for a number of these guys on this list. I just know that I'm not really interested in spending a 1st rounder on him, but if he's there in the 2nd, it's a no-brainer. That might be the most obvious Cowboys pick. You need a good linebacker. Wilson gives you the instincts, size, and physicality that I think Mike Zimmer would really like on this defense. That was the easiest pick yet. Let's head on to round number 3. Round 3, pick 73, and this is the one that we got from Detroit. Guys still available include Brendan Rice, wide receiver from USC, Jerry Rice's son, huge frame, good ball skills, interesting receiver. Javon Baker, wide receiver from UCF, another interesting receiver that had some really fun tape from college. Cedric Van Pran, the center from Georgia, and an option if you think that Tyler Smith is your left tackle and Graham Barton your 1st round pick is a guard. And then we have Trey Benson. If you guys consistently watch this channel or just follow me for draft stuff, you know that I make this selection every single time that he's on the board in round 2 or round 3. I tried to switch it up and let him go in round 2 and take Payton Wilson, take the linebacker, take the need. But here he is again, and this time I gotta take it. Benson is my running back 1. I think he's a plug and play starter, and he really gives you that big play threat that you lacked from Tony Pollard last year. Whether that's as a pass catcher out of the backfield or as a runner, I love Benson's game. I don't know if scouts are as high on him as I am, and some other media members are, but I'm taking Trey Benson in the 3rd round, and probably even the 2nd round if he's there and Wilson's not. But we'll see what the Cowboys do. Maybe they add a running back in free agency. That's also going to affect how we are drafting these guys. Let's move on to our 2nd 3rd round pick at number 92. Some guys still on the board include Christian Mahogany, interior offensive lineman from Boston College, Javon Bullard, safety from Georgia, Malachi Corley, wide receiver, Western Kentucky, Jermaine Barton, wide receiver, Alabama, and Tanner Bortolini, interior offensive lineman, Wisconsin. Honestly, I thought this pick lined up to take a wide receiver. It's about the value that I have on Malachi Corley. I think it's time for the Cowboys to start retooling their wide receiver room just a little bit. I know you have CeeDee Lamb, he's your wide receiver 1 for the next 4 to 5 years, but behind them is where it kind of gets a little dicey. Gallup's almost 100% getting cut this offseason. Brandon Cooks is in the last year of his deal, and Turpin's a restricted free agent after 2024. And you have Jalen Tolbert, who we still got to figure out where he fits in the long term. I think that Corley gives you something a little different than other receivers in this draft, and really around the NFL. His short, thick stature, contact balance, power make him an absolute nightmare to tackle after the catch. He almost runs like a running back. He's aggressive at the catch point, he's a reliable receiver underneath, and I would love for him to be an option for the Cowboys in the slot. Corley isn't going to be much of a downfield receiver. When I watched his tape, most of his damage came within 5 to 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. He's not the most perfect, polished route runner, but he's not really a manufactured touch guy either. You're not going to have to try and get him the ball. He can get open, and when he does catch it, he's a threat to get yards after catch every single time. A lot of people like to call him Deebo Samuel Light, because he's a hell of a dude to try to tackle when he gets the ball. So, Malachi Corley was my guy at number 92. Now, the Cowboys won't have another pick for 85 selections. They don't pick again until number 173. Maybe you would like to flip one of those 3rd rounders and try to pick up a 4, early 5, but going that long without a selection is quite a while. But we didn't make a trade, so let's go ahead and make our pick at number 173. And here is where I want to bet on the physical upside. Bring me all the athletes. And in that case, it is Ole Miss edge Cedric Johnson, who scored a 9.65 relative athletic score at the NFL Combine. He had a 9.9% pass rush win rate in 2023 with 26 quarterback hurries and 4 sacks. But for his size, he's a good athlete. He had semi-good production. He comes from the same school as Sam Williams. Plus, the Cowboys are going to have a need at defensive end, and it's always worth getting those guys in, guys that are athletic, that play defensive end. Get them in here and see if you can strike gold. So that concludes this mock draft. Grade it for me down below. Are you trying to trade back in the 1st round, recoup some of that draft capital that you lost last offseason? Or are you standing firm and picking at 24? If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.